Hello, listeners. Welcome to another episode of the BS Car Guys podcast. This is a special episode. I'm not saying hello to Stanley first because Stanley's not on the podcast yet. Stanley thinks that this is our normal recording time, our normal recording day, which is on Thursdays usually, like every other Thursday. I happen to have had to drive down to South Carolina, where Stanley lives, for work. And so I was 45 minutes-ish away from Stanley's house. And so I have decided to surprise Stanley for the podcast. So in a few minutes for you, I'm going to sit here in my car and wait until he gives me the okay that he's home, because he decided to go get mani-pedis with his wife. That's right, I'm telling everybody, and there's nothing he can do about it because this is the intro to the show. I'm also going to put this on Facebook, so he's not going to have any control over it because I'm going to retain a copy of the video. So this will be our first YouTube episode. I may not have said YouTube. I may have said something else. Our first YouTube episode that you'll be able to see us. And it's also going to be an episode where I'm kind of surprising Stanley, and I'm surprising him with a car that I bought, which is also another surprise. So he doesn't know that I'm in a car that I bought, and he doesn't know that I'm in town. So it may be enough to kill him, but it may not be. What's the car? Oh, I'm glad you asked. So it is a 2012 Volkswagen Jetta, a Golf TDI with a manual. We'll take a look here. So there she is. I've been saying on the podcast for a while that my next car would be a manual. Now, I have to say, this car is red, and red's not my favorite for a car color. I've had a red car in the past. It tended to get me a lot of tickets. But this one came along at a steal of a price, which I'm sure we'll discuss with Stanley. Also, Stanley wanted to discuss tonight on the podcast slow cars. Well, this is a slow car. This is not a fast car. But my half a tank of diesel fuel I used to get down here, I've averaged over 40 miles per gallon. So to me, not being fast is worth being a little bit economical. And I know with all the talk about EVs that we like to do on the podcast, there will be a conversation about what would be more economical. But here's the thing. This car is a fraction of the cost of a new EV. And I do mean a small fraction. Like probably the down payment amount most people would put down on a new EV or an all-electric car. That being said, it does have some miles. It's like 155,000 miles. So it's got some miles. It's a 2012 Golf. So it is a Dieselgate era car, which means that it has the cheater emission stuff on there. The Volkswagen had to buy most of these cars back. I don't know if this was a buyback or not. I haven't seen that in the history yet. So I'm guessing somebody kept it, which is why the miles are as high as they are. But you know what? For the price, it's basically, it feels fit and finish, still like a new car inside. Outside, paint's got some wear and tear on it. It's not perfect. And that's okay because I'm not too concerned about it. I'm going to drive it on the highway a bunch, and I'm probably going to get a lot of rock chips anyway. So not the end of the world. 4-door and, the hatchback. So as the Golfs are. And I'm going to kind of pause it here. So a little intro. Welcome you guys to the podcast. Again, we will find out for you guys momentarily what Stanley's thoughts are. All right. See you in a second. All right, folks. So we're pulling up to the Stanleys. And they don't know that it's me, hopefully, but they do see a car coming at them, which Stanley's probably like, I don't know whose car that is. I've never seen that car in this neighborhood. So here we go. Here we go, folks. Brace yourselves. Hello, Stanley.
Hi, Bill.
Woo! Remember a couple weeks ago when I said, I just want to buy a car with a manual transmission and show up at your house?
You did say that.
Guess what?
You bought a car with a manual transmission and showed up at my house.
You got it.
Oh, but just talking about.
Oh, by the way, so I'm videoing, and this is the podcast. I already did our intro, and then that little bit where I come up on you, that's also in the podcast. And I'm just going to put this episode on YouTube because I'm going to retain a copy of it. I'm going to give you a copy when we're done, and you can upload it. But just let you know, I done got you.
I don't want to be on YouTube. I don't have a face for YouTube.
Okay, so this red Volkswagen Golf is a 2012 diesel with a manual.
Purchased where? Where you find this thing
in
at?
Ashboro.
Oh, you found it in Ashboro.
I did. Found it in Ashboro.
Classic Volkswagen Squeak. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, she needs a little love. But
So you went back.
a Dieselgate car. Remember we talked about Dieselgates on the podcast as being tremendous value. So it has 155,000 on it now. I had 154 when I picked it up. I did over 40 miles per gallon on the way down here without trying to.
And
How much would you say?
Diesel. 150,000 miles on it. Today's world. 10 grand.
7,500.
7,500.
Get in a $7,500 car.
This is the $7,500, as you said, slow car.
Slow car. All right.
All right. So this is Bill's new car. New car.
New car. New to me car.
No, it's the new.
It's not fast, but does have a manual, so it ticks all the manual boxes.
All right. First thing we need to do is we need to swap this out.
I've already looked online. Crutchfield has several options available, including a new one that like the whole screen swivels a little. Yeah, so if your passenger wants to watch something going down the road, they
We
can.
don't care about passengers.
Nah.
So you got your.
I got a 360 camera right here in case you want to take it for a test drive. That'll go on the podcast as well.
Oh Lord Jesus.
I'll edit that in there. I was prepared for that.
So you went back and did what I said to do without telling me that you were going to do what I said to do.
What's that?
I said, why don't you just go buy your old car?
Yeah.
Manual.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did. I had been
This is very well taken care of.
right. That's why I'm pretty sure it. So the Carfax doesn't come out and say Dieselgate. I don't know if they figure you got to push a clutch in, push the button. So
Oh, it has a push.
it does have a push button. You got to hold it down because it's a diesel. There you go. You got to get them glow plugs.
I haven't driven a manual car in a while, and I have Crocs on.
Getting his excuses out the way.
Yep.
Put my seatbelt on.
Stalled in the car. Stalled in the car.
All right, hold on now.
I haven't stalled a car in a while.
We got to get all the camera footage.
And also, you're taller than me.
Yeah, put that down so it'd be harder to see it was me. When did you know that it was me pulling up?
I knew it was you pulling up, and I was like, because I know every car in this neighborhood.
I knew. I said it to the camera. I was like, he's gonna know that it's not a car he knows.
Yep.
I knew that was gonna be the case. So I knew my window of opportunity was very limited.
You're gonna make me want a manual car again.
That's the point. I mean, manual cars are the best. We could have done this in the daylight, but Stanley's Mani Petty ran along.
My mani petty didn't run long. My wife's. Oh, it feels good just to shift again. Oh, it feels so good.
Isn't it nice? I have not been unhappy yet. It is so nice to shift your own gears.
And I'm doing this in Crocs, and I haven't stalled.
Yes.
This is weird. Anyway, so when did you do this again?
Saturday. I looked at it a couple weeks ago. I made my offer the guy was wanting a little bit more.
So it was at a dealership.
Well, yeah, it was like a mom and pop dealership.
Okay.
So I went and took a look at it. I test drove it. Felt like a solid car. Didn't notice any issues with, you know, stuff that I know from having owned a diesel Jetta to like kind of look out for. I didn't notice any of those weird quirks. And so I said, well, I kind of like it, but I don't like that it's red. Red's not my car color.
That's why God made wraps.
Yeah.
I mean, what you
I
really
do think though red with some white wheels would look okay.
It would. It definitely would. However, you should wrap this car in brown.
Oh, brown.
100% wrap
Brown car, because we do like brown cars.
I did not stall it.
Nope.
I still got it.
You still got it.
For somebody who hasn't driven a manual car since 2000 and, oh gosh.
It's amazing how quick it comes back, right? I also had not driven one with any regularity other than a couple test drives lately. I had not driven one with any regularity in at least 15 years, if not more.
I haven't driven a manual car since 2009.
Yeah, so that's been a minute.
Wow.
But don't you love it?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
So
I have never driven a diesel manual car.
So here's the thing.
No, diesel manual truck. Did that.
So I also test drove a much faster and newer and more expensive GTI.
So why did we choose to go with the...
Well, a couple of reasons. One, I was trying to spend minimal money. $7,500 was a good deal if I could get them there. They wanted more. And
so how much did they actually want?
85.
Oh, so it still didn't get to the 10 that I was thinking about.
No. So they wanted 85. I came in at 75. And actually, I've learned that it'll tell you if need you to shift up or not. I don't know what gear you're in, but
that's what I was looking at. I was like,
but
I don't know. Oh, it is.
This is a 6-speed.
I didn't.
So
none of my manual cars that was new enough to have 6 speeds.
I know. I get in 5th and I forget. I look up and I'm like, oh yeah, there's 6. I gotta go to 6. But anyway, so I made the offer. They came back and said, no, the lowest we could do would be 8. I said, okay, no problem. You know, good luck. Thanks for letting me test drive it. And I nothing. And so in the in-between time, I was out of town for work and came across a GTI on a bigger name dealership lot. And it was an 18 with far less miles, obviously. But anyway, I test drove it. Black car, very nice, much quicker than this car. You know, a lot of fun. I immediately thought 2 things. One, I get a lot of tickets.
Okay.
And 2, because it was a gas car and had a little more power, you had to give it a lot more rev to get off the clutch and go. It wasn't as easy to drive as this for a manual. And one of my goals with the car was to have something with a manual that I could finally teach Kendra.
That is one of my goals also.
And that I could eventually teach Anna. And this is so easy to come off the clutch and get it going. If you're on flat ground, you really don't have to give it much throttle at all, because it's got enough low end torque with a diesel engine.
And if I could do it in my old Focus, then you can do it in this, because that's one of the things I used to, when I was teaching people how to drive a manual, the first thing I had you do is make the car move
without the gas pedal. That's right.
Just use the clutch, feel the car react to you. Right?
That's right.
And obviously my wife didn't get it. Because
I couldn't tell you what I did or didn't try to teach Kendra back in the day with the Saturn, because it's been so long ago that I don't really remember. I just remember being frustrated.
I was very frustrated that I couldn't teach her how to drive a manual. And when I taught her, when I was doing this, that's when I had the BMW.
Yep.
So, and then on top of that, her friend, I was teaching her how to drive a manual. Your check engine light just came on.
Yeah, it's okay. I know what it is.
All right, cool.
I already checked it.
All right, cool. Her friend got it and was able to drive my car around, which made her more frustrated than I was and mad at me.
So Stanley just pointed out something. So my check engine light just came on while he was driving it. So this actually happened earlier today, and I have my code reader with me because, you know, old car people,
Yep.
you gotta have your code reader. And that is a known thing about diesel cars of this era. So this car does not have DEF fluid. This is pre-DEF.
Uh-huh.
And but it does have the Saka Death like filter system on the diesel, on the exhaust.
Okay, okay.
And so these cars are known for, they'll build up a lot of material at about 150,000 miles, and you'll start to get these codes telling you that there's an exhaust gas buildup in the filter. The filter is basically clogged up. My plan is on my drive back to be less gentle and see if I can't blow some of that out.
Okay, yeah. Old school.
Yep.
Makes all the sense.
And if that doesn't work, I'll be doing a little research on what to do to fix it. We'll leave it as ambiguous as that comment.
All right. On our drive, I just wanted to hit this little area up. Hey, this is where Mercedes parks their vans.
Oh, look at that. That's a lot of vans out there. See if you guys, it's kind of dark, so it's going to be hard to tell, but all those little white lumps are vans.
Yep. And it's going. And it's still going.
That's a lot of vans.
Yep. And this is one of their lots. And they're still out there.
Yeah, that's a lot of vans. That's all the vans.
Yep. And we're going to have a podcast about vans.
We are going to do a van podcast.
And there's more.
There's a lot of them. That's literally thousands of vans. I don't know what you plan to do with that many vans, but
sell them.
Sell them fast. So I read your article you sent me while I was waiting on you guys to finish your mani-pedis.
Okay.
Stanley sent me an article about a car buyer kind of getting duped into trading their paid off SUV for an EV and then being way upside down in it.
Yep. First.
First of all, what SUV do you think he had originally? To be paid off and not do that little damage to the principle of an EV.
That was my thing, right? So I was reading some of the comments because I was sitting there after my mani-pedi, and my first thought is, how did you just trade in a paid off SUV and you're you owe $71,000?
Yeah, $71,000 owed. I mean, how is that even? How'd that happen?
I don't know. I was like, did they just steal his car?
Speaking of cool cars, look right here beside us. I think that's a Plymouth Valiant right beside of us at the stoplight.
Yeah.
Cool cars.
Yeah. So this guy, he had a paid off SUV, like Bill said. He talked to his wife about, hey, I'm gonna go get this new car. They sent me an offer. I'm gonna go check out this new car. I think he had an EV itch, which, you know, you shouldn't buy a car when you have an itch like that.
Not unless you're planning on buying a really used car that has a manual transmission.
Yeah.
I actually think that was a Dodge Dart.
It probably was a Dodge Dart, because now I'm seeing the back of it.
Yeah.
Because we had a Marine with a Dodge Dart. Okay, we'll one right now. All right, so I'm gonna talk to my wife about buying a car.
She's not gonna be happy I came down here.
No. Oh, she's gonna love the fact that you came down here. She's not gonna like the fact that
Not the fallout. She's not gonna love the fallout of
No,
it.
not at all. Not at all. Also, speaking of $7,500 cars, remember I told you about an Acura I was considering buying a while ago?
Yep.
While I was waiting for a mani-pedi, a couple drove by with their baby in an Acura TL, same color. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's the same car because I want it to be the same car,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure it's the same car.
Well,
But
it's good you didn't get that car, because now you know what you really need is a manual car.
Oh, I love you so much. I say that without sarcastically sometimes. Anywho, all right, so this dude, he had a paid off SUV.
He had a paid off SUV.
He gets an offer in the mail. It's like, hey.
He gets a a sales offer in the mail.
Yeah, what Bill just said. And it's like, hey, we go come drive this new car. We get this deal. We have this deal already pre-described for you. All right, so he goes out there and he gets his car, and he comes back home with this new EV. Bill is not gonna like it because it's EV. I don't think the EV part is the point.
I don't think the EV part is as much of the point as I think the article was kind of pointing out that Dave Ramsey, who they reached out to for help, financial expert, quote unquote,
yes,
fails to grasp the reality that is EV depreciation ownership.
I think he fails to grasp the reality of what
the current car market.
No, that too. But that's a good point. That's not the one I was going to make, but that's a good point. Of what it's like for a person who actually works for a living and is not rich when they go buy a car.
Well, that's a good point too.
Because Dave Ramsey, I would imagine, goes buy a car when he wants to go buy a car, not when he needs to go buy a car.
Yeah, and let's be realistic. I mean, I don't know. It did not say where this couple lives. I think
it said Florida, didn't it?
Maybe it said Florida. Well, I don't know what the average household income is in Florida, but it did say theirs was $90K because he was a sole breadwinner.
Yep.
He's the only one employed, and that's his salary.
They're in Florida, so they probably got kids because,
Yeah. So to me, 90 grand. First of all, you should not be shopping a $97,000 car or a $70,000 car if your income is only $90,000.
Yeah.
That should have been Dave's first and most serious point.
Correct.
Outside of that, I mean, the fact that they're 20 grand in the hole out the gate having traded in a vehicle is actually not a big shock to me. That's why I make such a big deal out of, like, save your money until you can either pay half or all of the vehicle's cost or just buy a cheaper car. This is a cheap car that, yes, will have some minor issues, but it is a reliable, usable car, and I'll get 3 or 4 good years out of it, and then it'll be, parked.
And I do agree with you, and I do agree with you on that philosophy, but also I do understand that sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And
Agreed.
Because we have done that before.
Agreed.
We're not.
But in this guy's case, he wasn't doing what he had to do.
Not at all. Not at all.
He did what he wanted to do, and it bit him.
This is how you pick the right spouse. Because you know who would not have allowed us to do that?
Either one of our spouses.
Either one of our spouses. It's like, we got to pay our car? No, you're not getting a new car.
No.
Not at all.
If I came home today and told Kendra, man, I got a smoking offer from the Ford dealership, you know what she would say? Is it exactly the same price?
Yeah.
Because if the answer is no, then the answer is no.
No. 100%. I actually had a conversation with my wife the other day about her being a bad wife and not telling me no when she's supposed to tell me no. It's 10 years ago now, but she should have told me no then, and she didn't. And I still hold her responsible for not, not telling me no. But yeah, so this dude trades in this paid off SUV, and somehow walks away. And it was like a year ago, because they bought the car like 2022, right?
Yeah, 2022. So now they're at 2 years.
So
they're probably still just as upside down.
Yep. And they are now they have the car. It's a $71,000 car, and they're gonna try to trade it in because they have a $1,200 car payment.
$1,200 car payment.
My first mortgage was not $1,200.
Our current mortgage is $1,200.
Yeah, my current mortgage isn't that much more than $1,200. Matter of fact, how much that dude pays for insurance and this car payment is my mortgage. 100%. I'm pretty sure,
man. That is unreasonable. And here's the thing: they go to try to trade it in, and what they offer them? 40 grand.
Yeah.
On a car they owe 71 on.
You like that?
Yeah, that's not bad. Dude can't drive 'cause he just ran a red light.
Oh, we are in Charleston area, South Carolina. This is normal. Did you see me creep out there earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes it seems like people are trying to hit other people in cars. It's like a game. It's chicken. Anyhow, so yeah, this dude, now the dealership, I'm guessing that he bought the car from, wants to give him $40,000 for this car, which would leave him $31,000 in the hole, right?
Oof. Yes.
$31,000. We talked in a previous podcast about a lady that on a different YouTube channel, and her issue with owing $70,000 on a Kia Telluride,
Which is just insane.
which just is insane as well, and her trying to get out of that car. And to be honest, well, I will get there. So Dave Ramsey's advice was to sell. First, he did not believe it,
Right.
which goes back to Bill's point. You don't understand the car market.
No, because none of that is overly surprising.
Not at
There are
all.
literally hundreds of people out there listening to the podcast or not that have a very similar experience.
Yep. And the EV side of this, this is where the EV side part comes in, is first adopters of any product, especially EVs,
Boy, that's a good
will
point.
never
That-
you will never get your return on
No,
investment.
that's a great point,
It's
Stanley.
just not gonna happen.
And EVs in particular, you're right, are extra subjective to that issue. Yeah. One of his recommendations in this particular instance we discussed was for him to try to sell the car for 50,
When his best offer so far is 40,
Which
I don't
is
know
insane.
I don't know how that's gonna happen. But
Right.
Go ahead.
and then try to use a credit card or get a bank loan to pay off the other part,
So
and then go buy a cheap car for $5,000, which he called a stupid tax.
yes,
Now, I don't disagree with buying a $5,000 stupid car as a tax for your
Correct.
stupidity. I don't disagree with that.
correct.
But here's the thing: you're taking a huge hit at this point. So this is my theory on that, and it's probably not the smartest choice. It's not Dave's choice. So whether Dave's smarter than me or not, I don't know.
I know he's
But-
richer than us. I don't know about smarter.
Yeah. But what I would say, and I'm not recommending you take my financial advising class either, so there's that.
Don't take Stanley finances.
Right. So, but I would say at this point is the car you're stuck with. You are stuck with that car and that payment until it's gone, and then hope that you've got your use out of it, and hope that when you're done with the payments, if you no longer want it, you can get a reasonable amount of money back out of it. Did you buy a Penske van while I was gone and have it parked here to surprise me?
I did not buy a Penske van. They're probably doing deliveries because they deliver things in weird dip or something.
Well, here, let's do this. Pull to the cul-de-sac,
Alright.
and we'll switch spots, and I'll drive that loop, and then you can hold the camera and talk.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like it never stopped.
Isn't it amazing?
Yes. Oh, my wife is about to be so mad at me. Speaking of which, I tried to buy that truck from that guy. That Toyota.
Oh, right there. Is it XP? Is that what they called that package? With the ground effects kit on it
yeah.
and stuff?
And it was lowered and all this other stuff.
Yeah, the XP.
Oh, that felt so good. Still up. Oh,
Ah!
hey, remember I was telling you about this my neighbor who gets very expensive leases?
Yeah.
That's the dog you found the Dolly XL
Oh, okay.
Ultimate.
All right. All right, we have switched spots. I am in the driver's seat. I'll let Stanley hold you guys. All right, you can point at yourself or whoever,
All right, cool.
or whatever.
Hopefully we have some kind of video editing software that doesn't make this just look like a cave. We're in the Bat Cave,
Well, we'll see.
the Bill Cave.
We'll see. Look, I can turn my light on too if that helps.
No, it doesn't really help. Oh, can kind of see you right there.
I can see me.
Can't see me.
Lost
I
cause.
wonder why. I wonder why.
What if we do one of these actions right here? Does that give you?
Oh,
Look
kind
at
of.
that.
Yeah, look at that.
That
Look
might
at
actually be better.
Yeah. That look, nope,
too far.
Too far. All right. So yeah, where were we at? So your idea about how this guy gets out of this situation?
Yeah. So I mean, my thought is, like I said, he has to just own this car and drive it until it's paid for, and you're just stuck with that payment. That's your mistake. You made it. Now you got to live in it. There is no easy out. That's my thought.
I agree with you. There is no
Left.
left. I agree. Whoa, did it go back?
No. It's still recording. The screen just turns off to keep it.
Cool. I agree with you that there is no easy out. This would be my advice to this dude. If you have a house that you live in, see, I was trying to baby it. I was trying to just drive it like
I'm trying to clean it out.
You're right. You're right. So if you own a house, if you have a house person who did this horrible thing, and you are good with your mortgage and everything, and you do not foresee some crazy, life-changing, job-changing thing,
Keep talking.
this is what you should do. You should take that $5,000 that Dave Ramsey was talking about. You should go get that, take that $5,000 that Dave Ramsey was talking about, and go get that used car. And then take that other car and take it back to the dealership and leave it there. Let them come get it.
You think they'd take it back?
No, they ain't gonna take it back, but involuntary repossession, I would take the credit hit.
Oh, really?
I would take the credit hit. If you got a house already, and you are not trying to move,
So you think the 7-year credit hit is an easier pill to swallow?
that is $40,000 that this dude is about to swallow.
Yeah.
He can save that $40,000.
I mean, that's not a bad point, really.
And one of the ideas that one of the reasons that this sticks in my mind is, once upon a time I had a repossessed car, not by fault. It wasn't because I wanted it to happen. It's because I went to Japan and I was young and I was dumb. But you know, working in the Marine Corps and leading young people, they make dumb decisions with cars all the time.
All the time.
Especially
Guilty.
Yep. So there have been on occasion where a Marine comes in and he buys way too much car.
Yep.
And he has no real means to pay for it.
Yep.
He has no real means to put gas in it.
Yep.
I have seen people who they can pay the car, they can pay for the car and just cannot afford to put gas in it. So then now they use their friends to put gas in it, so they're only going to places that their friends want to go, because those are the people who put the gas in the car. Seen it happen multiple times. I have told people, I was like, hey, stop making the payment.
Just take the hit.
Let him come get it. Go get a little cheap used car like you should have did.
Right.
Save the difference. It'll work out on the backside. You already got crappy credit anyway.
Where's my turn at?
It's further down, but you can go all the way out if you want.
Where this road dumps back out and then go
to 52.
No, we don't have to do that. I can go back to wherever the turn you made was.
There is a little church and a big church. Take a left at one of them.
At one of them, it don't matter.
It don't matter. They go to the same place. One is about to come up here shortly, and the other one is up the road a little bit.
So I never really give it the thought of taking the hit on the credit.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're stable working adults, you've got a house already, like you said, you're already mortgaged, you're not going anywhere for a while. That's your we're staying in it forever home. Go ahead and get you a couple credit cards signed up for so they can't take them away from you.
Yep.
If you need credit cards.
Yep.
And this one?
That's one of them. But this is the one you didn't go. This is near a little house that you might actually like. They got horses over there. You're about to have horses.
I'm not gonna have horses. I can't afford horses.
Why do you think your wife refuses to daggone quit working?
Good point.
Figure you find that. And this road is a little bit more curvy than the other.
I mean, I chose well then.
Yeah.
I knew what I was looking for.
Yep. So yeah, if you have a place to live Now, the bad part about this one is you're gonna have to make a right and then do one of the Charleston loopy dumb things.
Okay. All traffic must turn right.
Yeah. So yeah, if he's secure, if this person is secure, you got a house and your wife doesn't work, I'm guessing you got a family. If you don't got some big thing coming up, take the credit hit, because I really do believe that you're gonna save more money just by not making that car payment and sending that voice message to spam when they call you 7 billion times, then you are going to you're gonna come out better in the long run. Because I mean, people have proven over time you can have bad credit and survive.
It's a good point. I mean, I did it for years.
Yeah. We are out of that. We are out of that now, but that wasn't always life.
No, that was definitely not always life.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, because I mean, if you're making a $1,200 car payment, that is what 14.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're saving that money.
Yep.
And every year for the next 7 years or so.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah. So yeah, your insurance paper going to be cheaper. You're going to have to, because you don't, especially if you just pay $7,000 flat out for the car, $5,000 flat out for the car, you don't have to have full coverage insurance. But I would recommend you get full coverage insurance, because if you do not have full coverage insurance and you get in a wreck with that car, then you're going to have to go out there and get another loan and have to deal with that.
That's right. So you got to plan ahead.
Yeah.
You got to plan ahead to have bad credit.
Yeah. Have full coverage, so if something happens, you can get that car replaced. So
yes.
But and your wife is going to be upset with you because she's not going to be in that nice of a car no more. Y'all probably don't got a date night car, but that's what Hertz had rental car stuff for.
But again, you're paying the stupid tax.
Yep, this is the stupid tax. You can pay the $5,000 stupid tax and take this credit hit, or you can do what Dave Ramsey. And this is the point. If they can't sell the car for $40,000,
where are you gonna find somebody to buy it for 50?
That doesn't make sense to me.
Nah.
And speaking of,
where do we turn at? Not this one?
Not this one, the next one. Also, I forgot to point out something. You didn't get the itch when we came through this light earlier?
What light?
This light earlier, because there's a Bojangles.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
Left lane.
I marked it. I made a mental note.
Yeah. There's the Bojangles. Yep. But yeah, I remember listening to Dave Ramsey, because I went through Financial Peace. That's the other part. He told her, oh, you can go to Financial Peace for free on the backside. I think if you call Dave Ramsey and you get on the show, they should give you Financial Peace for free. They should just give you that.
That should be it.
Because they're probably gonna make more money off that video than they're gonna make selling you Financial Peace.
100%. Yeah, that's the part that's a little painful about it, is he's made money off of your
plight.
There you go. Yeah.
Tragedy.
Your tragedy. That's the better word. Your tragedy.
Yeah, because people, and also, I think this is probably the most important part, is if you buy a vehicle and the dealership keeps sending you money, these little things in the mail, because, oh, we have this great offer for you, like the local Kia dealership sends me probably once every other week, or at least once a month. Hey, come trade in your car and we can give you the new version of it, and you'll save this much money on this, and you can do this, and blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. You know what's cheaper than a $400 car payment? No car payment.
No car payment. And you know what? Here's something that we haven't talked about that I wonder. I don't know, because I don't have a ton of EV owner friends. I just have a couple.
I've had two or three.
That one's saving. So here's my curious, my I wonder moment is, are EV owners getting those requests in the mail from dealerships of, oh, we can make you a smoking deal on your EV for a new EV? I don't think so, because they're not moving those units as easily.
I would agree, 100% agree with you, because that market has dropped out. Also, again, early adopters, Hey, there's a reason why Stanley will not buy a car, no matter how much he likes that car, in the first year of production.
It is a tough it's a tough ask, right?
Yeah,
And that's-
it's like, hey, I mean, there are some cars out there that can make it easier for you to do, but just like back in the day, if y'all remember, buying an iPhone, the first iPhone was super expensive. You paid a lot of money to use it.
and it didn't do a lot.
And it didn't do a lot. And now the iPhone 15 or 17, whatever.
27.3.
Which that's a good product. It still costs too much, but it's a good product. But the first one, it wasn't a
Turn it
good.
in here, right?
Yes, the first one was not a good product. The first Samsung Galaxy was not that as good as a product as the new one, because they're still filling these things out. As much as I like new technology in cars and more than Bill, probably yes, a little bit more Bill. I'm not telling people to go buy EV.
Right.
I'm not unless you got two other cars in the driveway and you make enough money where you can go experiment on a $60,000 car.
Yeah.
And I don't got that many of those friends, so
There ain't a lot of them out there.
all my friends have cars because they need a car to get to and from work.
This guy's Tundra is
That's the dude that I was telling you about. Everything in that driveway is a Toyota except for one car, and it's a Nissan.
that dude's Tundra is it is overlanded out.
Yeah, it is Yakima's out.
Yeah.
Everything on there is a Yakima. He has he got a Tundra, and he had a different Toyota. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. It's an SUV, but yeah. So, word of the wise is when the dealership calls and say, "Hey, we got a smoking deal for you," it is a
Be
scam.
warned. Now it's not always a scam if you have a vehicle that is a in-demand, high, like low depreciation vehicle. So Lucas did that with his truck.
I was gonna say about Neil.
Yeah, Neil's friend with the Lamborghini, right? Same deal. He made money.
Yeah.
But I mean, most of our listeners aren't going to be out shopping Lamborghinis.
No.
But
Didn't he have the same issue with the? I don't know if that's an issue. Didn't he have the same situation with the Porsche?
yes,
SUV?
yes, he made money off his Porsche. Yeah. So I mean, but anyway, the you know, Lucas did it with his Tacoma when the Tacoma market was just
Ridiculous.
retarded. Yeah, and he actually, it only cost him $500 to own his truck for a year.
Yeah.
And they moved his camper shell to his new, exactly identical 1 year newer brown truck.
Yep.
I mean, he changed literally nothing except he went up a trim level to leather seats. And it only cost him $500 to own that truck for a year.
How long ago was that?
That was a 21 to 22.
Oh yeah, used car market was doing
Yes.
all types of crazy things. Oh yeah, that make all the sense in the world.
Yep.
All the sense in the world. Hey, there's an ant upside down.
Yeah.
But yeah, before you go make a deal like this, talk to your spouse.
There you go.
If you got a new spouse,
That's some advice right there.
if you have a good spouse, they'll tell you no.
That's right. They'll stop you.
Yeah, because we can validate all types of stupid things in our head.
100%.
I do it every day.
I mean, that's the episode.
That is an episode. Also, I'm jealous of Bill's car. I'm not really jealous. I'm kind of envious.
He's
Which one
jealous
is
of
what?
the transmission.
Yes, I'm jealous of that.
Yeah.
That.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, love you, Bill.
Love you, Stanley. Bye, guys.
Bye.